Hello and welcome to Lean Into Green. I'm your host, Jenny Lamorgan, and I'm excited to be here with my guest today, Terri Treat. And I'll introduce Terri and talk about who she is and why you want to listen to her. But first, I want to share a little bit about Lean Into Green for those of you listening in for the first time. At Lean Into Green, we learn from some of the best experts in this field. You will discover how going green enriches your life, your health, your wealth, and your happiness in so many important and inspiring ways. And you'll learn the many impacts that your green lifestyle makes on the planet and on peace and lasting sustainability. You will deepen the way that you understand and experience your own green lifestyle. And that's what Lean Into Green is all about. I'm a green entrepreneur and owner of greenwomanstore.com. I've learned a lot interviewing our green lifestyle experts, and I know you'll be glad you've listened in. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest today. Terri Treat is the owner of Cotton Cloud Futons, which she opened in Portland, Oregon in 1981 when she was just 17 years old. Terri also has a new eco mill and manufacturing company called Natural Felt. This work of providing natural bedding to families is a labor of love for Terri because it allows her to do good work for the planet while benefiting her own local community. She employs a diverse range of people, partnering with small businesses and donating to organizations like, in other words, Feminist Resource Center. Terri's proud to say that all her bedding products are made by hand with an emphasis on natural materials and renewable resources harvested in sustainable ways. Terri's going to educate us today about some of these natural materials like wool, natural latex, organic cotton, and their sustainable harvesting practices, and the many advantages to using these natural products in our homes. Welcome, Terri Treat, and thank you for joining us at Lean Into Green.
All right, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
All right. You know, I have always wanted to raise goats, and in my quest for information on how to do that, I came across Catherine Friend's book called Sheepish, and I'm glad I did because that book taught me so much about wool, and I know that's part of your newest business. So let's talk first about Echo Valley wool, and where do you get your wool? I know you're really particular about your sheep.
Yeah, well, the wool is all grown by small farmers. So most people have 15 to 20 sheep, and there's a black-faced sheep. You see, they grow all from, middle of Northern California all the way up to Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. And so what we do is all the people put their wool in a wool pool so that they're able to have enough poundage all together to get good prices for their wool and to also take care of their sheep in sustainable ways, which means that they're not dipped anymore for bugs, and they're just completely, let to go out in the fields. They're not penned up. They're not in huge kind of slaughterhouse types of farming. It's all really small, and most all the farms are, do organics. They don't spray their grasses and things like that.
And I know you're even particular about the veterinary care that the sheep receive.
Right. It's really important for us that people use dogs or llamas to herd their sheep and that kind of thing. So.
All right. And your wool pillows are so popular with our customers. I know that there's a lot of advantages to wool, like it's cooling in the summer and it's warming in the winter, those kinds of advantages. And I think I also understand that it's naturally fire retardant, so requiring less chemicals. Is that the way that you process your wool?
Correct. So most pillows are made out of a polyester or a feather or some kind of foam, and all the foams have fire retardants in it because it's law for bedding and pillows. And so there's like 952 chemicals in a fire retardant pillow. And the same with the polyester. They add all kinds of different things to it to make it so it doesn't burn. So what the wool does is because of the way it just does not burn, and it kind of wicks away the moisture, so it's a really nice barrier. So any kind of mattress pad or topper or pillow or futon or natural mattress that's made with wool, the wool wraps around it, and it doesn't, the fire doesn't go through, so it doesn't have to have those fire retardant chemicals in them.
Oh, very nice. And I think the wool also doesn't hold the body odors. Is that correct?
I believe so. Because it wicks away the moisture, and the moisture kind of goes into the air, I think it's gonna be, usually your body smells are going to be in moisture and sweat, and so that's going to wick it away to make it evaporate.
That's true. That's true. All right. And then you also have natural latex, and I know from some of the images of the farming the latex, how it comes out of the tree just like a maple drip.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, and it's produced without chemicals, because when we think of latex, we think of, you know, a pretty toxic material, but it can be produced without chemicals. So tell us more about this amazing non-toxic product for our homes.
Well, also, too, people are really concerned if they have latex allergies, and the kind of latex that we use, there's no allergens to it because it's not dusted with powders or things like that to make it slippable. How the latex is made is it's capped like maple syrup, and then they carry it, and it's taken and it's washed, and it's heated and cooled. So I kind of think of it as like Jell-O. It goes into this mold, and so then the process is heating and cooling of it. And it is washed with some water, but no detergents or chemicals are used in that. And then as it's heated and cooled, it kind of forms like Jell-O, and that's why it's non-toxic. It keeps bacteria out, and it's just really nice. But I think of it as Jell-O.
Interesting. And then you put it into a mold for your product, and I think, are there holes all throughout it, through the mold?
Right, yeah, that's what makes it give. That's the give to it, yes. So there's holes, so it's like a form that the latex goes into, and then it's heated and cooled, and that's what gives it its form and gives its flexibility, so that when you lay on the latex, it gives to your body, and it gives to your contours of your body.
And I think it comes in different firmness levels as well.
And right, and that just depends on how much poundage of latex is going into the mold at the time.
And I know that you also, I think we have the pillows on our website that is either a solid piece of latex or it's the pieces.
So since latex is made into certain sizes, so pretty much we have almost all queen sizes, and queen and king, and then king gets cut down to twins, and queen gets cut down to fulls, and so then you have a strip of extra latex. And so we put that through one of our machines that kind of basically chops it up. It's called a picker, and then we have the material that goes loosely, and then you can fill it up how you like it. So I have some pillows with latex with a wool top. I have some pillows with just latex, and then I have the solid pillows, which are made into a form.
Very nice. And I think that that variety of firmness is important for a lot of folks. So.
Right, because it depends on what their body needs as far as comfort and how it creates relief from your pressure points, like how your body weighs and where things are.
Where your sore spots are.
Where your sore spots are. Thank
Is that
you
what
for
you're
helping
saying?
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And I love that it's a non-toxic alternative for us. And another one, just like the wool, that minimizes the amount of bed bugs or any kinds of bacteria and things like that really creates a lot of allergens.
Exactly.
All right. And now you have one really interesting material that you use. It's called Wellspring, and it's very popular. And it's some of our most popular at Green Woman's Store. It's a soft, really fluffy, resilient fiber, and it's made from recycled 2-liter beverage containers. So it's
Correct.
plastic bottles that feel like cotton. This is amazing
Yes.
to me. Tell us
It
about
is.
Wellspring.
So what they do is they take the pop bottles and they chip it up into little squares, and then they protrude it into fibers. And then we take the fibers and we run it through our garnet machine to make batting. So we make a mattress called the Wellspring Supreme. It was designed by a woman in 1980 named Leslie Block in Bend, Oregon. She was one of the first women on the forefront to really use recycled pop bottles that were coming out from the 70s. So she started that mattress, and then she just retired, and I took on that trademark, Wellspring, because I have the machines that actually make it into the batting, and I make all those mattresses. And the mattresses have the Wellspring, which is really resilient, and it's hypoallergenic. So if you have dust allergies or something like that, it's great for that, and it just is very comfortable. It makes a really nice mattress.
So we actually have 3 alternatives here that are hyperallergenic: the Eco Wool, the Natural Latex, and now the Wellspring mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, on one of our other Lean Into Green calls, we learned that when we put our recycling into our garbage every week, we're not always ensured that it's recycled. A lot of it ends up in third world countries or in, you know, other less than desirable situations. So I love that this is recycling a lot of these 2-liter beverage containers, and it's so comfortable. So you manufacture this yourself, and you use it in a lot of different products. I know you have pillows, and you spoke about the mattresses.
Pillows, mattresses, and toppers is our main thing. And it's 8 bottles per pound, so a queen-size mattress has about 40 pounds of fiber. So
you're recycling a lot of beverage containers.
Exactly.
Very nice. Good work, Terri. All right.
Thank you.
Now, we all know about organic cotton, and I know you use organic cotton for a lot of your pillows and mattresses and comforters. I have one of your futons covered with organic cotton, and I love it. It's just beautiful. But you also cover your latex and wool products with organic cotton. Can you tell us why we see organic cotton costing so much more? And of course, the important question, are these costs really higher when we take the environment into account?
All right, so organic cotton, the way that it's grown is that most of the organic cotton we get is from Texas, and it's low growing to the ground, so it doesn't use a lot of water. So what organic farmers, their yield is all about the weather. How much has it rained? How much has it not rained? And also when it does rain, which they do need, all the fields are hoed by hand because you can't use machines to get in there. So that's one of the costs, is that you're actually paying people to do labor. When you have commercial cotton, how it's grown is it has a genetically modified seed that's resistant to all the weeds, so none of the weeds grow around it, and then it's sprayed with Roundup all around it. So the cost of organic cotton is a little bit more expensive, but not really comparatively to the amount of labor that goes into it instead of buying chemicals from, say, Monsanto or other chemical seed companies that sell commercial cotton. So the other part is that it takes 4 years for the land to transition. So a farmer can't use any chemicals on their land for 4 years before they can be certified as organic. And then the certification process every year costs quite a bit of money. So that's what you're paying for, is you're paying for certification that these people are actually doing what they're saying, and you're paying for labor so people have jobs to weed the cotton. And these fields, Jenny, are huge. They're huge. They're acres and acres and acres and acres of cotton, because cotton is used in so many products.
Wow. So what kind of acreage are we talking about? Hundreds of acres?
Thousands.
Thousands of acres. Wow.
Thousands of acres.
Okay.
And
so
they're pretty
organic
small farms also in the organics too. So they probably have like 2,000 to 3,000 acres per farm.
Okay, so it doesn't sound small to me, but in the or in the cotton world, it probably is.
It's very
So
small.
that helps us understand what we're paying for with organic cotton. We're not getting Roundup in our pillows. We're not getting, genetically modified seeds, promoted all around the fields. And so I think, considering those costs, really the environmental costs, it doesn't sound like it's a price that isn't reasonable. And you're right. I think it isn't that much more to buy organic cotton. So
it's not. I don't even think it's that much more to buy organic produce either. Like if you look at the cost, it's really does not cost. It's usually pennies more to buy organics because in the long run, you're sleeping on something or you're eating something that is not going to hurt you. The other piece about organics being in the cotton is you get a better quality product. So like food, you get higher nutrition. And with organic cotton in our products, you get a longer fiber. So one of the things that happens in commercial cotton is that the long fibers go for the fabrics, and the short fibers go for manufacturing beds and things like that. So with organic, all we use is what they call long staple fiber. So when the cotton's growing in the ball, there's short fibers and long fibers. The long fibers are pulled out in the gin process, and the short fibers are what are used for all kinds of manufacturing.
So does that give our pillows and our bedding products a longer
lifetime.
lasting?
Mm-hmm.
Longer lifetime.
Mm-hmm. For
Very
sure.
nice, Terri. Very nice. And I know too that just organic growing in general protects our water table. We don't have all those chemicals going down into our water supply, so it really benefits our communities every time we shop at the farmers market or buy organic locally. So. All right. Now, I know one of the sources for toxins in our bedding is the whole issue of flame retardants, and you've touched on that, how wool is naturally flame retardant, and we can get around those kinds of toxins in our bedding by buying wool. Tell us more about these flame retardants. I remember, in the early times when the plastics came in with the kids' clothes and with the bedding. I forget what it was called, but that's when the flame retardant pajamas for children and stuff came in. And of course, I didn't know then how toxic they were. But tell us more about the flame retardants in our bedding products.
Well, the history of how they got into that is that the three big mattress companies, Simmons, Sealy, and Serta, and the chemical companies lobbied for this, and they lobbied to get these laws passed. And what happened with the laws is that it's a huge cost to have your mattresses tested. So every mattress that we make has to be tested, and how it's tested is you do the base test, which is 36 cigarettes set at a certain temperature with sheets on it, and they can't burn longer than the cigarette themselves. So that's the first test that we all had to do, and you have to take every time you change a fabric or anything within your mattress, you have to retest it. It takes quite a bit of time and cost. Then they got a new higher standard up, and so basically they take, it's like a blowtorch, and they put your mattress there, and they put it on a certain temperature for a half an hour. And you can see the pictures of it. They take a mattress and they just basically blowtorch it, and if it doesn't catch on fire, you pass. So you have to keep all meticulous records on making these mattresses for the government, which I think is good in a lot of ways, but what it did is it took a lot of people out of the business. All the small manufacturers can't keep up with it. It's quite a big cost. And who makes the money in it is the big corporations, the mattress corporations, and the chemical companies. So where the mattress companies put their chemicals are in their foam. Foam is a petroleum product. They put the chemicals in the foam because the foam is quilted to a synthetic fabric that also has it and a thread that also has it. But because we use wool for all of our mattresses, and the mattresses we don't use wool, we use cotton, and we put boric powder in it. And boric powder definitely, some people don't think of it as toxic. The amount that is put in the mattress to keep the cotton from not burning is very, very little, and it's like household use or any kind of use that you would get by eating fruit, any kind of fruit and stuff. So I don't believe that the boric powder is toxic, and some people do have reactions to it. So if you are allergic to boric powder, what people do is you can get a note from any doctor to say to your mattress company, I would like a mattress made with non-toxic fire retardants. And they'll have to make you a mattress and use foam without that, or make you a natural mattress with latex or wool or cotton. So, that would be the way to have your mattresses made that are non-toxic, and that is why there's so many chemicals in them.
Wow. And you have a process at Cotton Cloud Futons. You have a process for accepting the doctor's prescriptions for non-toxic bedding?
Oh, yeah. If all my beds pass, except the ones without wool, which have boric in them. So if you want a mattress without boric in it, all you have to do is go to your doctor, your naturopath, and we have a form they take there, and the doctor signs it, and you bring it in, and then we make your mattress.
And that's for folks that have a sensitivity to the boric acid or the boric powder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's nice to know we can buy bedding without these toxic flame retardant chemicals, and nice to know the history of it too. I think that polyurethane, that's what I was trying to think of. I remember when that came out and was causing so many fire problems for families.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a petroleum product based.
Yeah, and I see the polyurethane rising up again now in products, and so I'm so glad to know about natural latex and about the anti-flame properties of wool, because I'm really enamored of the wool products for a lot of different reasons, and hoping our listeners are learning more about wool too. All right, so I think it's once we have these natural fabrics and products in our home, it's important for us to learn about how to clean them and to prevent mildew in our natural bedding products. So I have some questions. I know that our great-grandmothers used to refresh our natural bedding by sticking them out in the sunshine and trying to, purify them that way. And then, too, a lot of folks put their futons directly on the floor, and I would think that would maybe during the winter at least, cause some mildew problems. So tell us about cleaning and about cleaning the wool, cleaning the latex, the Wellspring, the cotton. All of these, I'm sure, have specific cleaning processes at home that we can do ourselves.
I think that any time you can take, your mattress outside and let the sun purify it, I think that's great. But that's a little hard in our world to kind of do, to find a clean place to put outside in the grass or whatever. But you can put any mattress on the floor, and any mattress will get mildew if body heat and coldness condense. So the thing about a natural mattress is you'll see it faster because it doesn't hide within the foam. It goes right onto the fabric, and then it can go in deep. So what I say is if you put any mattress on the floor is that you flip it over, or if you get a platform that's really low to the ground that has slats on it, almost like a pallet, that will get the air around so that you won't have any kind of mildew problems. But all the mattresses that we make, and what I say about all mattresses is to flip it. So to flip it on a regular basis so that you can, it will level out evenly, and then you won't have a problem with heat and coldness condensing and causing mildew. And then if you do, vinegar works, baking soda works, and just a little scrub brush of that, and you can take it out really easy.
Very nice. And what about the pillows? The wool pillows and the latex or the Wellspring, are they washable? Can we wash them through our gentle cycles?
How to take care of pillows? I think that since they're smaller, there are something that you can take out and let the sun kind of fluff and revive. You can also put an encasement on it and a pillow case to keep it clean. And your pillows should last 2 to 3 years, and then they should be replaced. I know sometimes we keep things for a lot longer than that, but they can be completely recycled, and you can get new pillows because they'll be compressed. The natural fibers do compress a little bit on that.
Okay. Well, I'm so grateful for you sharing this with us today. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we close up here for the day?
Okay. Well, so I've been in business since I was 17 with cotton cloud futons, and I've handmade my mattresses for that long. And about 4.5 years ago, my suppliers who had the garnetting machines that would take my organic cotton and my wool that I would buy and would make it into batting for me, they all went out of business. And a lot of small businesses in the last 5 years have gone out of business. So what I did is I bought these small businesses and started Natural Felt, which is manufacturing with a bunch of machines. So we have 20 employees at our warehouse that do all the sewing, all the shipping, and all the making of all the fibers and mattresses there. So it's really gone from a two-person job in manufacturing where we'd bring in all the materials to we manufacturing the materials. So we're making and wholesaling mattresses all up and down the West Coast, and across the country we ship natural mattresses because people are really interested in a natural, non-toxic, sustainable company and business. And I think one of the things that I'm really proud about Natural Felt is that we recycle 100% of everything in a warehouse setting. And it just feels really good. And everybody who totally participates in what we do and in making a better environment and a nice, comfortable, great place to work at it's been really a fun endeavor.
So you don't only produce green products, you are a green business yourself.
We are a green business ourselves for a very long time.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Terri Treat, for joining us here at Lean Into Green. We've learned a lot about natural fibers today and how to care for them. And I'm sure you'll want to learn more about Terri's natural bedding products. You can find all of her products at cottoncloudfutons.com. And we also have a link for you for her page to how to care for natural bedding. So we provide those links for you. And again, it's cottoncloudfutons.com. Thank you, Terri Treat.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. And thank you to all of you for joining us at Lean Into Green. Going green is a journey. It's a personal journey, and it's a collective one. And you may want to invite your friends and family to listen in as well. Our experts provide a wealth of information as well as tips and tools for going green. I hope you'll take the time to make leaning into green a priority in your life, and I hope that we've inspired you today to go green in many new and rewarding ways. Keep listening as we all lean into green a little deeper on our collective quest toward sustainability.